Let's put into perspective the numbers that show sales of previously owned homes, basically measured by contract closings, falling more than expected in June. A lot of the analysis out there indicates that there's a limited supply of affordable homes out there. What are you seeing?
I think regionally and across the nation, that is very much true. In the New York market and the surrounds, we are seeing more inventory. So I don't think it's as critical as it is in other parts of the country.
Why are we seeing more inventory when you would have thought that the economy is going pretty good, consumers are starting to get paid more, mortgages, rates pretty low?
Yes, there's a real hesitancy in the market. Our region, the price has escalated a bit too much, so now we're in a correction mode. So, and that means inventories increasing and hesitancy in the marketplace.
Let's talk about mortgage rates. They're holding near their 2-year lows, in some cases below 4%. Do they need to fall more to be impactful, or again, does it come back to the supply that's readily available to potential buyers?
I think when they're this low, it's incredible purchasing power. The lower it goes, obviously, the buyer is more enticed to move forward because there's more money in their pockets. So I think they're at good rates.
One of the themes that I've seen back in the UK is home prices theoretically falling, but in many ways just the market not moving because the sellers aren't willing to capitulate. Yes. And the buyers have the strength, but they can't get their hands on any actual inventory. What are you seeing here? Is there plenty of inventory, but people aren't willing to part with their house for the price point that they really actually have to?
I think we're starting to see a shift in that. We've had this hesitancy now for a couple of years, particularly in the mid to high end range. Sellers are getting it. They're getting realistic. And the buyers have been waiting a long time to get into their homes. So I think we're coming to a point where the correction in the market is going to get it moving.
So for the sellers who are then able to actually price their properties at a point where buyers can come in, what are they doing? Is it all about price, or can they offer other enticements? Are they, I mean, certainly with apartments, for instance, in Manhattan and across New York City, you can perhaps give 1 month's rent for free and offer other perks.
Right. There's creativity in the marketplace always, but I really do think it's the value and price. But what sellers can look for is, especially the ones that are going to sell, is what is special about their apartment. So newly renovated and an apartment ready to move in is almost essential now. But if you've got a view or you've got private outdoor space, or in my suburban markets, waterfront property, those are the ones you're going to probably be happiest with your price. But when you are pretty much like everyone else, it really gets down to price.
Now, I've been in the city for a year now, and
it's been a year already?
I know. Doesn't time fly when you're having fun? Already, maybe at some point we'll be looking at buying into the market. Talk to me about the regulatory environment, because I arrived and it was all there ready to be confronted. But there have been a lot of changes, right? The mansion tax, for example. Yes. How is that being digested by people who've been in the city longer than me and now looking to purchase?
Well, I think depending on the price point you're in, the mansion tax affected more the $5 million and above. So if that's your price range, you're going to have to pay more to close. And that's why we saw it.
Need to save a bit more.
Yes, that's why we saw an incredible buildup of closings before that July 1 deadline. But those are all factors. I think short term, you're going to see sellers and buyers having to come together and maybe agree to, I'll pay a little, you pay a little, particularly in this market environment. Maybe my agents are going to be creative. So we somehow always work through it.
So another piece of news that we learned today is that Amazon is partnering with Realogy to funnel potential buyers to that brokerage company's agents. What does that mean for how deals get done? What are you seeing on the front lines? What do you think? Project out for us how this changes the process.
Well, I think it's so interesting because really we are all looking to control the buyers as best we can. Your portals, your Zillows, in the city, Street Easy, everyone wants to have the eyeballs of the buyers. So this was an interesting move. So they'll get the buyers to come to them because they're giving something. They're probably going to have loyalty of buyers because of what they benefit at the end of it. So it's very interesting. It's a real wait and see how it turns out.
You worried by the competition?
I never worry about the competition. You do what you do, and somehow it all works out.
Diane.
But it's very interesting.